show you. Really, man? Yeah, it's far out and technical and stuff. Boy, so, yeah. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Cool.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to It's Monday.
Yeah, it's a funny Monday. It's fun day. Monday, fun day.
Taste of the Mondays. I love that movie.
I have no idea what that is.
What?
Rings a bell. What is that
You've
one?
never seen Office Party?
No, never seen Office Party. Sorry.
That's what it's called, right? Office Party?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's what it's like to be a programmer back in 2000. After the whole, or actually
Y2K?
1999.
99 before Y2K, oh
You know
my
how they
God.
paid all those
I know. I had many
so-
of them as clients.
And they go to this place, and it's like you got to wear flair and all this kind of stuff. It's Jennifer Aniston's in it.
Okay.
And then there are the places, and all these guys are sitting around, they're all moping, and this over energetic waiter comes out, goes, "Oh, someone's got a case of the Mondays." I'm like, "Oh my God." So you can shoot him now.
Well, there you have it. I don't have a case of the Mondays. I'm sitting here laughing.
Did you tech this weekend?
I did. I think it was mostly, yes. I solved a software issue for a client who needed software to do something that it was never designed to do. It needed to give the inverted response to what it was giving.
Right.
So basically imagine that, all software is designed to show you something. He needed it to show the things that wouldn't show.
So
I needed negative tags, basically, in a piece, and so I figured out how to do it. Yay! That's what I do for fun.
My software's not working right. It's showing me stuff. I want it to show nothing. Nothing.
Yes.
You don't want any
You know what it is?
information out there at all, man.
It's the inverse of the Facebook algorithm. It shows you all good news.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's funny. We got a lot of Facebook.
Oh, we do. We have a lot of
Did you
social
check this
media
weekend?
stuff.
No. I didn't
At
really
all?
tech at all.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
I cooked. Well,
Cooking is
guess-
tech.
Yeah, because I use an electric.
I made curried seitan on Saturday.
go.
So there you go.
I smoked ribs yesterday in an electric smoker, which is the first time I've ever done it in an electric smoker.
Yep.
I
I could smoke ribs.
That's
If
not
they ever
manly.
get legs, though,
It's
I
not
can't keep
manly.
up with them.
If it's not done with fire, I don't know. But it was
Fire.
good. Oh my God, it was so good though. I have to say, I was worried halfway through the process. Anybody that's got an electric smoker versus a fire smoker, with a fire smoker, halfway when you pull out to go and do, after you've let it smoke for 3 hours, you pull it out and you go glaze it, right? Well, normally that's kind of a really super firm meat. Pulling it out, it's like a little spongy. I'm like, ooh, I don't know about this.
Now, if you would have plugged that into your Tesla,
Well, I
then it
guess
would have been.
so.
Then you would have been teching.
So, so is everybody at home ready to watch Anthony's head explode? This is going to be funny. So we're going to come out.
I'm going to watch your head explode.
This is a trigger. Ready?
Trigger.
I'm almost worried. We're going to talk about Amazon. Oh, okay. Well, not so bad. So House panel, the House,
Yes.
the government,
Government.
threatens criminal investigation over Amazon testimony.
Yep.
So, and the whole thing comes down to the point is, and I think you've said this in the past.
Yes.
Is Amazon has been taking people's ideas,
Yes.
redoing them, and putting them under Amazon Basics,
Yeah.
right, and selling it for a cheaper price.
Right.
So,
They'll go in, they will
As-
get their manufacturer, they will offer them a bigger contract and for an exclusive or whatever, and so they can undercut the people who spent, their lives test marketing this stuff, proving to Amazon that it's worth
and
stealing.
the only thing about this is that, in a way, I'm like, okay, I get it. Amazon shouldn't have done that. They
Yep.
shouldn't do it. The one thing it does, though, it helps me get okay, like the dongle for my phone. Okay, the dongle for our iPhones, right? The one where you can plug into the lightning port and it comes out, and it can be either an HDMI or it can be your headphones,
Yeah.
plug in. Okay, so instead of me spending $28, I get to spend $7, right? And
Okay.
it works.
Right.
So that's the only good side of it. What I don't understand, because sometimes
Right.
I love my Apple, which I have no idea where it's at. My phone's
Your
here
iPhone?
somewhere.
Yeah.
But sometimes I just got to say to Apple, you charge way too much for this crap. It's just a dongle, for God's sakes. I literally, in a pinch, had to go to Walmart and buy because that was the only thing close enough, and buy the actual Apple dongle so I could use a plug, right?
Right.
Thing was freaking $24. I'm like, on something that sits over on the shelf, and I don't ever buy it. There's some of the stuff like Own, I won't buy that stuff, but it's like $6. Oh, there's my phone.
We found your phone.
Hopefully
It just screamed from the back
maybe
room.
Rob can bring that over to me, because I'm pretty
That's
sure that's my
hilarious.
kid going, I can't find it. So anyway, it is not right for Amazon to do this.
No.
I do.
No. I mean, they take away the incentive to invent. No, he doesn't actually have it.
I mean,
It's over there somewhere. Huh. Oh, well.
But so that's a major issue, because if you take away the incentive, then and the marketplace, which they're doing both,
Right.
okay, then it makes it that much harder for anybody to get into business. Now, I totally abhor that business model I have. Everybody knows that. That's why I don't do any business with Amazon. However, when I looked over the documents and the evidence that are being used here, some of it really stuck out as being, you got to be kidding me. Now, I'm going to go 2 steps on this one. One of the things they have is an email from an employee saying, yeah, I regularly scan the most popular items in order to pick, and that's what I will go ahead and put into my report. So it's a manual process that this person is doing. That's one person who decided to cheat, who decided that the algorithms that he's supposed to be doing, the software he's supposed to be doing, aren't giving him the data that he wants to get to be a hero in the company. And so he's cheating, and he's going out and he's actively doing that pirating, even though it's
Right.
not part of their actual system. Well, that doesn't count as them doing it. That counts as this guy deciding to cheat, and this guy needs to be held responsible for the choice he made to cheat the system. And I'm perfectly okay with that. However, I am going to back that up another level. Everything about Amazon is creating an environment where that kind of behavior is encouraged.
Right.
That's the bigger issue that will not be addressed in any of this legislation.
Right.
Okay, that's the problem, is they're not going to look at actually solving the problem. They're going to be throwing a patch on a tire that's gone over a bed of nails.
think about it. I mean, it's just like, if an employee comes into your company and starts spying on you, how you do work and stuff, and then going and selling it to another company.
Or going and starting his own company.
Starting his own company.
That's
that-
actually happened right here.
This
Yep.
is what's happening. Amazon knows who your supplier is of your product, who's been making
Yeah.
it and stuff, because most likely you've decided to have it drop ship directly to Amazon.
Yeah.
For your store, so Amazon knows who's
Oh,
selling.
look
it
at all
in
the
place.
fulfillment they do.
Yep, and then they're seeing where the product come from. They have the whole inside scoop on your whole business.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. They have your entire production model
They just got
in there, and
sitting on their shelf.
And you bring up another valid point. Just because Amazon may be saying they don't do it, that doesn't stop any Amazon employee from doing it.
Correct.
And just because he happened to give this product idea to Amazon, well, that's great. But who's to say he's not giving it to his buddy down the street? Or anybody in there could be pulling this data and helping somebody else start any damn business they want. So this whole model is fraught with the ability to destroy an initiative, that whole innovation concept, because all of the data is being held in there under the guise of convenience for the seller and the buyer. And anybody that gets in that business of providing something as this kind of convenience, and then an overwhelming percentage of the market moves to it, has the enormous capacity to be corrupted and used for incredibly nefarious purposes. Which brings us to our Facebook stories.
Well,
Maybe not right away, but yeah, we'll get there in a bit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, let's just jump down there now then.
Okay.
Because first thing we'll go is the Facebook plans to rebrand the company name. That's what, according to Verge. Now this is according to Verge.
Yes.
We don't know that for a fact.
No. I think there are a few things floating around out there, and I cannot imagine. I mean, yeah, they're looking at their whole multiverse option and using the Oculus systems. And is this something that they want to be bigger than that thing, the Facebook, that was, built in a dorm room?
Pretty soon it's going to be called Face.
I was hoping they'd go with
Facial
something like
blur.
MySpace. Or Spacebook.
In my wife's defense, she calls it Face Page.
Face page. Oh,
Not wrong.
nope.
Not wrong at all.
But yeah, I think the face. There you go.
Face.
Yeah, talk
Face
to the
off.
face. Face off. That's good. I think the word face is probably going to be out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's jump to, I'm going to jump to number 12 there, Rob.
Yep.
It's Facebook employees tried to suppress conservative news outlets.
Yeah.
So,
It's saying the employees,
Yep.
so not the
So-
algorithm.
Well, the employees were creating the algorithm. That's the point.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. The ones putting in the parameters for the algorithm.
right.
Were saying, no, we shouldn't have this on the platform. It's evil, it's hateful, it's causing violence. Just look at how much violence happens when we have to show up and beat them all to death, And so, yeah. So some of the Facebook employees were all, bantering back and forth, saying that, we need to do something. We need to be the arbiters of truth and decide what people see in this country or in this world.
And that just goes, okay,
Yeah.
so not only are they suppressing conservative, right, but we've also got a story that
Yeah.
they come under fire because leaked documents said that Facebook's algorithms pushed people over the top. Now, I'm old school. Nothing's going to tell me what to do, how to do, or what to do. I kind of think for myself, right?
That's what everyone thinks.
Well, I do.
Yeah.
So
That's what everyone says.
it was found out that the
Yeah.
algorithms, instead of
Sure.
stopping, the posts and all that kind of stuff, which is
Of
actually
course.
what it's supposed to
course.
do, it actually kind of threw fire to the gas.
Well, yeah, I mean, popular content
Right.
is going, oh, it's popular, we need
It's-
to show
it's
it to more
trending.
people.
It's trending.
Yeah, and so therefore we need to show it to even more people because apparently it's something of great interest. The issue with that is they then say, oh, they did it for profit. Well, of course they did it for profit. And anything that's trending is going to get
Right.
pushed. But the problem is, if there's an assassination, it's going to get a lot of traction. If it turns out that that assassination didn't actually happen, then all the anger that was created by that rumor of the assassination is now a problem. Okay? But is it anyone's fault that the algorithm that is specifically designed to show more of what is popular, not what's hateful, not what's violent, not what's extreme, but popular? That's what it, and now I've got Wicked in my head. Oh my God. I've got Glinda singing. But in this case, I mean, they're only focusing on half the equation, though. And it goes with the previous story that, the only rhetoric that is violent is conservative rhetoric. There's not a breath in there, not even a hint of a footnote about, oh, I don't know, federal buildings being looted and burned and private businesses being burned all summer last year.
Right.
Okay, and how social media might have been involved in that, in creating people, groups and so on to bring them together, and why were they so upset that they could go out and cause all this violence?
Right.
There's nothing in there about that. Nothing about the false narratives that had some people really upset. No. It's all about January 6th.
Well, okay, so, and here's something else. Back in February 2019, right? supposedly Facebook neglected the rest of the world, fueling hate and speech and violence in India.
Yes.
So 2 employees made a fake profile of a 20-year-old woman she lived in North India, began to track Facebook, showed her, and at first, it was soft. It actually fed her soft porn, violence in Kashmir. The site, and it just kept feeding more and more and more. And it was pro-Modi propaganda.
Then when there was an event, it like octupled the amount of negative propaganda. She's not real.
She's not real. Yeah,
she's
right.
kind of like a certain attorney. But they.
Wow.
Let's use they because there's 2 men who created her. Now I'm getting into really weird things. But I've got a Buttigieg going on. But you have this situation where it then switched over, and you were getting a lot of what some people consider fake news propaganda being flooded into her news stream when she had not done anything to select, ever interacted. They were just monitoring what was being fed in. And now I don't particularly know in this case if the experimenters were clicking on any of the material in order to see what it was that Facebook was sending in.
Right.
Because whatever you click on, they're going to give you more of because you're being active. It's popular with you, so I'm going to give you more of it.
Right.
So that in and of itself will affect the algorithm. And, so what were they actually doing within that? We'd have to go back and look. If they were doing nothing and this is what it was feeding, then quite frankly, it means that this was material that was popular in her geographic zone. You know what I mean? Okay?
Right.
Its geographic zone. So this is, it's weird, but it all boils down to the fact that they created something that is a magnifying glass for popular. That's all. It does not have a bias. If it did, then there wouldn't have been anything happened in the summer of 2020.
Right.
And there wouldn't have been a January 6th, or who knows, okay? But instead, you've got one and you're screaming about the other.
Right.
So, yeah. That to me is the big issue, is that they're being very selective about their outrage.
Right.
What constitutes violence.
Right. Instead of all of its violence.
Hogwash.
Yeah, I know. And sticking on Facebook, you're an Apple user, I'm an Apple user, right? So Facebook and Google work with Facebook to undermine Apple's attempts to offer its users greater privacy protections. Well, that's what the complaint says.
Yep.
Right? So in other words...
Okay, but stop. Would it surprise you to find out it was true?
No.
Of course not.
No.
But on the other hand, that doesn't make it true. And let's remember, we don't let people tell us how to think. We think for ourselves.
Right.
Because John told me to say that.
Exactly. Thank you very much. I'll give you your $1 later and your lollipop. So basically what was going on was Facebook and Google were working together to make sure that Facebook's advertising was on Google to get into and bypass the security in Safari.
Right.
Seeing how now Google is, defaulting for a lot of Apple Apple stuff. So, it's messed up. You got 2 advertising companies. Yeah.
And thank you. That's exactly what they are. They are advertising companies. That is exactly what they are. Anything you get from them is bait.
Right.
Yes. Google is an advertising company. Facebook is an advertising company.
Twitter.
Twitter's an advertising company.
Even LinkedIn now is nothing but an advertising company.
Nothing but an advertising company.
This is these are just,
anybody who tells you different is probably working for a different advertising company.
They're just the guys for, show us your pretty pictures while we show you an advertisement.
Yep.
Show
me your pictures so we can figure out what you're really into.
Exactly.
That's all that is.
Exactly.
Which gets to another story that I think we have on here. I'll check later on, but go ahead, Adam, you were saying.
Yeah, so say for instance,
number 9.
Twitter uses words, okay? Facebook uses, pretty much everything, videos, words, your pictures, your friends.
Which
your likes,
stories you are
dislikes.
sharing.
What's your
What
sharing?
you like, what you don't like.
Google uses written You know,
Yeah.
what are you thinking mentally? What do you want to, you know, what are you into? What are you looking up? You know, and these are all driving their analytics to go ahead and focus on what to show you. And you know, if Facebook gets blocked, you know, and Google says, hey, look, I'll send them some information about you, because Google's making money on that back end. If the roles were reversed and Facebook said, hey, you know, Google, you're being blocked, you know, we'll show some of your stuff, you know, they both win, because at some point they're going to make a dime or whatever they make to show that content, and they're going to make the money. So
Yeah.
Either way,
You know,
they're
interestingly, I know that in the algorithm, okay, on Facebook,
right.
one of the things they gauge for is reactions.
Right.
And if you hit the like button, it doesn't matter. It's like they don't give that any weight at all.
No.
They basically show that as a view. You
Not even.
saw it.
Not even.
Okay, that's it. Not a click, but just like you saw it go by you on the screen. That's it. On the other hand, the other emoticons that you see in there, okay, everything from, you know, I care, to I love it, to, oh, I'm sad, to, oh, I'm angry.
Yep.
They weigh all those.
Because they're specific
So
emotions.
I really wonder if they couldn't ratchet a lot of it down, if they simply refused to put off stuff that got a lot of I'm angries. And they said, you know what, let's just downscale the angry stuff.
Right.
I wonder, because what they're doing is they're fueling outrage. When they're going, oh, people reacted to this, so should they be looking at stuff that is I care, I heart, okay, you know, I cry, and sending more of that?
Well,
They can't.
they can't. And then
Yes, they can.
well, and
They
then
won't make enough money.
Oh, that's a different answer.
Here's the thing. You
They
want
won't, is what you mean.
And their algorithms read your comments.
Oh, that too.
And your comments
Yep.
is what fuels the pushing that typical that article
Yep.
higher or lower.
Yep.
And depending on what you say, if you just say, "This is dumb,"
You know,
Yeah.
it's they're looking for the people that rant.
Well,
But,
the
but
problem-
my point is, if they did that, there's an empirical way of making sure that stuff that's making people angry is not getting shared. I don't have to go in there and interpret and go, ooh, well, they said Rand Paul, so that must mean it's hate speech, so we're not going to do that one. But they said Barack Obama, and so that's okay.
Well, truthfully, you know what's really driving it is our own
Money.
emotions. And because
Yes.
the software...
Yeah, where's our responsibility for this?
The software does not know any better. It
Yep.
doesn't know if it's negative, truthfully.
That's correct.
It was never written to know whether or not it was negative.
No, we don't know that, but go ahead.
But it's
Originally,
it's
it probably wasn't, but who
probably
knows?
written to see what's going to get to the top and,
No.
and what
It's-
is going to make them
yeah.
the most money.
It is most likely gauging results. Now, they are going in and
Yes.
fiddling with it, and that's the issue. Okay, they are going in and fiddling for keywords.
Fiddle.
Yeah, fiddle, Nero.
Well, now
Okay.
that, you know,
What's
now that-
trending?
Right.
Yeah.
But again, you know what? Not for nothing, but it's our own emotional response to these topics and things that are happening that's driving those articles and those advertisements.
And you know, and I tell you, and
Yeah.
I got caught up in one. I couldn't sleep Saturday night, so I was up all night. So I got on and I started, I go through Facebook and blah, 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 and then I go through LinkedIn. But on Facebook, there was this thing about this restaurant out in Washington, I think it is, where Dick's, right? I know, that's, I mean, I could make fun of it all day long, but it's a restaurant place. They make it's a hamburger joint. And they were saying, oh, they paid everybody out there $19 an hour,
Right.
and they pay for their this, and they get this, and they get full
Yep.
insurance, and blah, 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 all based on a $1.80 hamburger.
Yep.
So I go on there. I'm turning into Rob, and I go and I do the research on the restaurant. The $1.80 is a bun and a hamburger.
Yeah.
No mayo, no ketchup, no nothing. It's just nobody in their right mind is going to go in and go.
Unless you're feeding your dog, yeah.
Unless you're feeding your dog, right? So if you go in there and get lettuce, tomato, cheese, onions,
Right, they had 10 cents on for
guess
every
what?
item.
It's that $1.80 hamburger, $1.90 hamburger just turned into a $3.99 hamburger.
Right.
So they don't. And so I wrote back, and I took a screenshot of the menu. I said, if you're going to post this, post the pure facts, because they don't base it on a $1.90 or a $1.80 hamburger. They base it on a $3 plus hamburger. And if I'm selling enough of those, and that's my mainstay, and that's all I'm doing, and I'm selling thousands and thousands and thousands a week, yes, I can afford to pay people $20 an hour, and I went into their employment.
Yeah.
Thing. It's a match. It's not. They're not paying for it. They're like, oh yeah, you can have it. You pay half, we pay half, and then there's a 401k that they match if you
Of
put
course.
this in.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's all about. So I
Which
started
is
finding-
really all you can do on a 401k by law, but yeah.
A government incentive on the back end.
Correct.
You know? So
and
it's
see,
not.
and then so I put all that in there, and people go, you just hate blah blah blah, and I'm like, no. First of all, places like McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, Taco Bell.
They are doing it on a $1.25 hamburger.
These are locations that are made for people to enter the workforce.
Right.
It is not meant to be a career unless you want to buy
Go into management, or you want to go into management.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Even then, because I'll tell you
That
what.
should be your stepping stone to the
If-
regular world of.
Right.
Yeah, owning one.
Now, I've talked to a lot of,
Owning.
I'm not, yes, I'm executive of my company, blah, 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 but I've talked to big boys. I mean, how was it, Forbes 500 and Forbes 1,000
Sure.
people. And they look for those management people that have gone through that at McDonald's.
Yeah.
And Wendy's, because it actually really is a good executive
It
training
is.
program.
It is.
Right? So, but it's, and these people go, well, they can't live on it. Well, they're not supposed to live on it. They're supposed
No.
to be. These are the kids that are people that are living at home, and they want their first time jobs is at McDonald's or Burger King or
Teenagers,
whatever.
college
They need to
students.
learn
Yeah.
the structure of how to work in society.
Yeah.
Right?
People that don't-
and
Yeah.
then move the hell on.
People that need like a schedule that's flexible and stuff for
Right.
school
Yeah.
and stuff like
You
that.
know, on the flip side of that, one of the issues is those jobs are really hard to automate. The ones that these, $8, $10, $12 an hour
Right,
people are
right.
doing. The jobs like, the guy who reads an x-ray, a radiologist, used to be a $70, $80, $100,000 a year job. That was that great middle, kind of gray collar, white collar job. Those are wicked easy to automate.
Right.
Those are super easy to get AI to recognize something wrong with an x-ray. Okay, and so a lot of those middle tier jobs are disappearing because AI can actually do those better. And so there's becoming kind of like a bifurcation, a split. Think of the Red Sea, ooh, I got the rod of Aaron. I'm out there doing this thing, and the whole thing is splitting, and we're losing the middle. And that's one of the big issues that we're having is the middle is easy to automate. So although I understand that these jobs are down there and they're great for starters, there are fewer pathways up through the top now as we automate. And which one are you going to automate? The guy making $20,000 a year or the guy making $80,000 a year? I'm going to automate the 80 grand guy, like a heartbeat. Okay, and it's going to be gone. And the problem is then the $20,000 a year guy's got nowhere to go. And that is an actual force that is really when was the last time you saw anybody give a letter to a secretary to type?
Right. It's
a joke.
Can speak to your computer,
Dude, you
and
can
it'll
speak
fix
to your phone.
syntax and everything
You
else.
can do it right in your
Okay,
phone.
So, and I know this is supposed to be.
I know. We're bunny
this is supposed to
trailing.
be a tech show, but
Well, this is tech.
This is tech. So,
Job tech.
you get the look. I hate to call people lazy, but by God, there's some lazy people. They didn't do good in high school. They didn't do well in high school, right? So now they're in the workforce trying to figure out how to make a living, and they're pumping out babies like it's no tomorrow, right?
Potentially.
So now you've got
There are a lot of stories.
So now all of a sudden, these starter jobs, who is supposed to be for teenagers and retired folks, right? That is a job that they're
Potentially.
retired, right? Now you've got the guys that went, well, I didn't do well in high school, and I didn't do here, and I don't have an education, a real education. So where am I going to go? McDonald's.
Yeah.
So they flood. So you're flooding the market that should be for first-time jobs.
Yeah.
Move up, whole 9 yards, with people that just didn't do well, didn't care. And now all of a sudden they're finding out that, so here's what I'd like to see.
Go
Here's what I'd like
ahead.
to see. I'd like to see our government say, okay, so all you lazy guys that
Yep.
didn't do well in school or didn't give a crap in school,
Yeah.
if you want to go back for 2 semesters of a trade school, we'll pay for it. I know it's socialism.
No, it's not. No, it's not. That's not socialism.
If we retrain our guys that just decided they just didn't want to do anything in school and go back and actually give them something, because, I mean, truck drivers, welders, plumbers, electricians. I know right now.
Yep.
I actually used to be a client that owns an AC, and they cannot get enough help.
Yep.
Well, you know what's funny is there was a big push for everybody to go to school, but they pushed away from
Away from the trades. Oh yeah, it was all supposed to be, gray collar tech jobs.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know, think about the people with those Microsoft certified whatever, it's a $42,000 a year job, but then there's 9 million people in your zip code doing it.
Right.
It's just insane.
And so no. There's a trade school here where we are at in Newport Richey called Marchman.
Marchman? Yeah.
And Marchman, I'll tell you what, if I was one of those guys that went, okay, I screwed up in high school and I didn't do anything for myself, but I want to do something now because I got 2 kids and a wife or a girlfriend or whatever, or a boyfriend, whatever. I'm not judging here, right? For me to go spend $1,500, I would scrape up whatever I could to go in there and get myself a trade.
Yep.
Instead of going to McDonald's and then bitching about, oh, I don't make enough here. Well, of course you don't make enough there. That's not what that job was for. So go get trained on something that
and it's not McDonald's fault.
No, it's
that
not.
They built an industry basically off of that model.
Exactly.
Okay, because that model is what existed. Now you want to change the model underneath them. And so of course they're going to, respond with automated ordering machines.
Right.
And they're going to say, sorry, those who are left are going to make some good money, but we're only going to have half as many people working here.
I know one thing. The other day I was driving in McDonald's where I over by where I live.
Yeah.
It was backed up down the street.
Yeah.
Literally into the street.
Yeah.
Because they can't get enough people in there to work.
I stopped at my McDonald's to go get we're fostering a dog that wouldn't eat. And so I went ahead and I went to McDonald's to try and get anything, because I obviously wouldn't eat that food, but I'm a vegetarian, so there's nothing there for me on their menu. But I went ahead and went in line. Yeah, grilled cheese. Could I have a cheeseburger, hold the beef? And but the fact was, I was in line for 20 minutes with the dog in the back seat.
Yeah, it's
it was just, and this is the drive-through.
Did you stay in line?
I was a drive-through.
Then you are part of the problem.
I couldn't get out.
Stop going. So anyway, we're going to move on now that we beat that dead horse. Breaking news, right? It's not
breaking news.
It's not really breaking news.
It is now.
Trump announced his new social media site, Truth Social, in early 2020. So we're going to combine two things.
2022, yeah.
2022, right? But then, on the other hand,
yes,
Trump Social Network given 30 days to stop breaking software license.
Oops. Yes.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. And then the Trump camp has not responded, to this charge. It appears
the software company that decided to build the site should be the one to respond.
Yeah, whoever he hired to do that job is in deep doo-doo.
Yes.
At this point, because that is what it is they used a kind of off-the-shelf piece of software to build part of
they built it with open source.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
It's not a problem. It's just the fact that they decided not to follow the rules with being open source. I think when the company was hired by the campaign, they assumed that they would be receiving something that they get to keep and name their own, and nobody else would be allowed to copy. Except for the fact that the open source license requires that after you get done using their software to build whatever you built, you have to leave it open for everybody else to see what you've just done. And the campaign says, no, that's ours. It's proprietary.
Well, it's beyond proprietary. That's a major security issue for them.
Yeah. So now.
Okay. So you really understand it.
Well, I understand. Yeah. Everybody should understand it, but I mean, I guess. That's where, when you click that little thing that says, I agree, you should read.
You should read what you're agreeing.
Especially if you're being paid to agree.
Exactly.
If that's your job, it's probably a good idea.
For the campaign.
Yes, to abide by these rules.
And so.
Yeah, so that's an issue.
I guess
fortunately, we're going to look at a rebuild on that part. And I'm sure that they're going to do, how much do we need to change? Yeah. In order to make it ours, to make it proprietary, and then we can shut the door.
Right.
And you know what? They may have already done it. They may have been ahead of this thing. They aren't responding.
Yeah.
So
Network-
they may
network
have been
everything.
ahead of it. Who knows?
Right.
And already did that. Yeah, we used it at the beginning as a framework, as a foundation, but then we built way the hell beyond it, and you can go ahead. We don't care. We're not using yours anymore. We're using ours. And so, yeah, that may be what's actually happening and going on, but these people decided, hey, we can score some PR notes and get our software talked about all across the world because it looks like we're going against Trump. So therefore, everybody will be covering our story.
I'm wondering if it's another Florida tech company that was involved in building of the
Website,
software.
website builder.
It would not surprise me considering where the Trumpsters are located,
Right.
you know.
So okay, so what does ISP mean?
Internet service provider.
Okay,
The company
so-
that
I
provides
teased this
you
story earlier
internet.
on, by the
So
way.
that is exactly. So this is your Fios. This is your Spectrum. This is your AT&T.
This is who takes this
T-Mobile, blah 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 blah.
and
blah,
makes
blah,
it connect to everything.
They're collecting much more data than you ever thought.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, it's only obvious. I mean, seeing how the whole internet for that particular company that is supplying the internet goes through their servers before going out. Or, I mean,
Yeah.
it goes through their DNS servers
Right.
and then goes out to the internet.
Yeah.
I mean,
they have to process everything that comes through.
and they got to make
but
and they
they
gotta follow rules for
Right.
Copyright infringement and stuff.
Yeah.
They're on the lookout.
But they are not a cable. And that's the thing. We think of it like a phone line, okay, that is, when you had a phone line and somebody wanted to tap it, there's a reason it was called tapping. It's because they had to connect wires to your phone line in particular to listen in on what the electricity was going between them. They were tapping into your line. And so unless somebody actively did that with a search warrant, it was illegal. And
But now
so
they have
we're
a
like,
digital wire.
but now this is a case of the data itself is actually having to be understood. It's having to be interpreted and read, and then instruction passed on from it.
Okay, but it's not.
And that's the difference.
But it's not just this.
No, it's not just
these
it's
two.
anything.
Anything
that's connecting you to
piece
the
of
internet.
Right.
Okay,
You're
Your
just,
refrigerator knows how many times you open the door if you have a smart fridge. Okay, your front door, if they know how many times people come to your door.
Right.
All these things, and if you're looking at the latest legislation, they want to take that control and also move that into your bank accounts. Now they're backing off. It's no longer $600 per transaction. It's now $835 per month.
Oh, God.
Okay, in
average
total
person gets paid
transactions
that
of
much
any
money.
kind, not just a $600 deposit. So you go to a bunch of 400s.
Oh, so
no.
that's basically your whole bank account.
right.
It's 99% of the bank accounts in America are going to be covered by this.
Even if you
because it's both in and out. So, your paycheck, if you have auto deposit on your paycheck, doesn't count. Nope, doesn't count. That's taken off. But if you pay your mortgage out of that account, it now does. So they have it anyway.
Or your car payment.
Or your anything.
I know
Any
people
money
that
going
have-
out regardless
I
of
would
where
never
it
do
goes
They pay
out.
$800, $900 for a car a month. So.
Yeah, boom, done. Well,
What
a
if you're
Tesla,
business
2 cars,
or
whatever.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
look at the business account. If when I pay my electric in this place.
Oh, yeah.
I've already broke it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It
So,
does,
so
sorry.
all of those bank accounts, well, your business account's open anyway, but
Yeah.
all of those personal accounts, if you pay more than $835 a month in anything, that means you go out to dinner, you pay your electric bill,
Look at this.
even
Walks
if you
in-
don't have a
walks in with
mortgage.
Starbucks, but nothing for us.
Wow. Sorry. The intern just really
He's
hurt
not an
us.
intern.
He is now.
Okay, so
He's a return.
he's a return. There you go. So here's something interesting. So
Yep.
DeSantis offers a solution to supply crisis
Yeah.
change, right? So before I get onto this,
Yep.
the problem isn't that stuff is. The problem is not that we're short on supplies. I don't know. Some stuff we
Not
are,
really.
the chips and.
Yeah, but
I
it
don't know,
ain't
the palm
toilet
oil.
paper. It ain't black
No.
beans,
So here's what's happened.
which they were out of at Chipotle, by
Because
the way.
the American people have been given money.
Instant
One way or another, yeah.
No, I mean,
No, I understand, one way or another.
So it's if you got PPE.
Yes.
No, I'm not saying PPE. If you've gotten for not for businesses, but for
Right.
homes.
Oh,
if you've gotten the
you got-
little stimulus checks and stuff like that.
If you
been
have 8 kids
given
at home, you're getting some $4,000 or 1,000. No, It's eight kids for $2,000 a month.
So all of a sudden.
In extra income right now.
Right.
No, it's not extra income.
I know.
They were already receiving it at the end of the year.
That's right.
So what's
Yeah, they're advancing it now.
They're advancing it, but the problem's going to be is when these people realize when they go to file their taxes and say,
Yeah, they're not going to get it then, that's
they're
all.
either not going to get it or they're going to end up owing.
Right.
Yeah.
Because some people, middle-class people, were using it as a way to reduce the amount of money owed because that's what they're getting back. Now might end up
Owing money to the
owing money.
IRS.
So they're,
But the
Yeah.
problem
Yeah,
is.
but the fact is they're getting it now.
Where I was
That's what
going-
we're getting at.
I understand. But where I was going is
Yes.
instead of taking that money and putting it aside and paying for your electric and your mortgage and your stuff like this, because now there's programs out there that if you can't pay your mortgage, they'll pay your mortgage for you. If you can't pay your electric, they'll pay your electric for you. Can't pay. So all this money that's coming in is now become discretionary funding. So now they can just go buy the Xbox, or now they can go buy a new car. Now they can go buy.
I
we're
have
going on a
heard
trip.
that, but when I walk down the aisles in the grocery store, the stuff that ain't there, this is not discretionary buying stuff. Okay, the fact that Chipotle's out of black beans is not discretionary buying. Okay?
No, that's all the people coming in buying that's got extra money. They'll go, I've never eaten Chipotle because I don't have enough money. Now they get to go to Chipotle and eat.
Potentially. Okay?
They're not used, the money's not being used.
grocery store shelves are kind of empty. Like they have.
Well, I know. So Saturday I was at Publix in the afternoon and there was nothing there. I mean, I don't say there was nothing there. There was some.
There
was
were
some
empty aisles.
Sunday
Yeah,
morning.
shelves. Yeah.
Sunday after church because I had to stop
Yes.
and get some apple juice
Right.
for my thing.
It's back up.
Everything is stocked.
No. They stock every night. It's gone by the afternoon. They don't have enough. That's the problem, is they don't have enough stuff to keep the shelves
No,
filled.
they do. They just.
I go in constantly and they're out of my milk. Okay?
you drink some funky.
I drink Green Wise vanilla soy milk, okay? Big deal.
Since when did beans get boobies that you can milk?
You are just jealous because you don't know my beans.
As a kid, let me tell you a little funny
Oh,
story.
no.
As a kid, my
No,
grandfather-
Beanie Trail in this case.
was a farmer, right?
Yeah, the
And,
foreigner.
and we worked with a guy that had soybeans and plowed them. And we used to eat
course.
those things raw out of when they were ripe. You could eat
Oh, that
them raw.
explains a
That's
lot. Now I
awesome,
understand.
Right? But I'm pretty sure I've never seen a boobie on a soybean that you can milk for. No.
That's okay.
Almonds don't have boobies.
You do it.
No.
You cut the vine and you squeeze it out.
Oh, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
but it's the fact that Americans now have been given money and they're just buying so much more now than ever.
I do agree that there has been a surge. It's something like 14%.
Yeah, but that's
Okay?
a lot.
But yes,
14% in America.
14% does not explain the Kleenex being missing.
Well, that's because
Okay, it
people are
doesn't
buying-
explain the fact
instead
that
of
I
buying-
can't get an air filter. It doesn't explain the fact that I go and I can't get fence posts. Okay, this
Well,
is
that's because-
maybe fence posts because people are
the
remodeling.
demand
Okay,
has gone-
but it's weird stuff. And the point is, yes, there are shipping issues as well. Serious shipping issues when you have all those container ships
Not for our
sitting off
wood.
the coast of California.
Not for our wood.
No, not for
We
wood.
don't
Okay, no,
import wood.
but wood has come back.
Other than-
And I was actually talking about plastic fence posts. I went to get those the other day.
You're
Okay.
putting plastic in the ground?
No.
Oh, wow.
No, they're
He's hating
reusable. We have to use.
He's hating the
no,
ground.
No, we have to use them for the horse
I'm just-
runs
dude, I'm just
because they
messing
can be
with you.
broken. But the
toilet
point
paper,
being,
you go in there.
basic stuff, okay, is also missing, and there are containers off the coast. So what DeSantis has said, hey, find a way over here. Stop shipping the other direction, ship through here. We have the trucking, we have the trains, we have everything right here, and we're open 24/7. We aren't, confined to 8 hours a day like the California
No,
ports.
they've made those 24 hours a day now.
Well, they've tried.
The problem is
Yeah.
you don't have enough truckers.
Well, why don't you have enough
Tell
truckers?
you guys out there that.
What?
that
No,
sit
no, no,
there
no,
and
no.
go, Hold on. It's
Oh,
not.
okay, tie back to that story.
Tie
I'm
back
good
to
with
the
that.
story is the fact that there's just not, the demand is outweighing,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
The actual loads that are coming in. And it's not like, truckers will never leave an industry that they know that's good money.
Right.
I have
Oh,
I
yeah.
have family members that have been truckers their whole
Yeah.
life. Even when it was, gas got so high, it was.
Yeah, but 40% of the truckers aren't allowed to work in California anymore.
Well, that's why
They
they're moving to
banned
different
them
places.
from working there because they're not
Control
union.
California's a
Yeah,
bunch of more.
independent truckers are barred from the ports.
That's pretty bad when you have your main import and export going through California.
Just California.
And then you got these situations where
Right.
all these unionized workers, like in the port workers, for instance, saying, "Oh no, I get to take my
2-hour lunch break." Yeah.
And oh no, everything's got to shut down, and we have no choice. Where's you guys shouldn't. Doesn't take a rocket scientist.
And you know
realize
what?
there's
It
something
all
going
comes
on.
back to the same thing. We are doing all of these things for convenience and price. We are choosing to use Google for everything for convenience and price. We're using Facebook for communication
Amazon.
for convenience and price. We're using Amazon for convenience and price. And now we're understanding the dangers. We're using California for convenience and
Utilize
price.
China for convenience.
Convenience and price. And we are understanding the dangers of that now.
The
That is
world
really
started
coming out.
using it.
And this, and you see DeSantis is the poster child for opportunity here.
Right.
Okay? It's like, you know what? If that's going to be a problem, hey, come on over here. We got you covered.
It's Florida, Texas, Louisiana, New York.
Well, New York's probably going to be as much of a problem anyway. But
Well, there's another one. But
yeah.
everybody's like, we're fine.
I'm surprised
bring it to
Boston,
us.
yeah. You think Boston would be jumping on that too. But no, this is all leading to, the problem is most of these are East Coast or only accessible, through the Gulf of Mexico, which is again, East Coast. Other than that, you got to go through the Suez Canal in order to bring people in, which can create a bottleneck at the Suez. So here's an opportunity. Here's an opportunity to expand the Suez Canal right now,
Right.
Yeah.
which would make a lot of sense, and the world would flow more easily, and we could take advantage of. We can see that it works.
Could also go
That
through
the
the Panama
demand
Canal.
is there. What did I say? Suez? I meant Panama. I'm sorry. You're absolutely correct. The Panama Canal.
I knew that. I knew what he
Yeah.
meant.
Thank you. So the opportunity's there.
Yeah.
So let's make use of it because we know it'll work. So let's go ahead and widen the Panama Canal.
Why?
Why?
Because
locks
it
are
seems
locks.
like all the great innovations that we did happened in the past, and we just forgot about everything that we
Right.
can and are able
We are
Right.
capable of
so
doing.
much.
Yeah.
It's like the dams, the major infrastructures that we built, and we just left it there. And we're like, okay, it's just still working. Let's just keep using it, except for expanding it or putting money into it.
Doing
and saying,
more.
Doing more.
I don't know, like fracking. Here are
Damn
things that
pipeline
work.
back up in our
Pipeline. No, those are evil.
No, they're not.
I read it on Facebook.
Facebook said they're evil.
It made it.
Then
It
they're
made it through the
evil.
fact
Oh my
checkers, so
gosh.
it must be true.
All right, so you're vaccinated?
I prefer not to answer.
Are you vaccinated? Mm-hmm. I am. I don't care. I did it because I went up and visited sick relatives, and I wasn't going to make them, even though I know, right? But now they're saying,
Yep.
okay, that if you don't get the booster shot, you might as well say you're unvaccinated.
Now they're just being a little crazy. Jeez, criminy.
Well,
This is gonna come from the
no.
CDC.
What they're saying is that that vaccine that we promised you would be 97% effective
Ain't.
is actually more like 47% effective. So you need to go back and get more. And in order to be a member of our society, you have to continue to do that. And
If that's
I mean,
the case, they can just go ahead and keep going down the line and saying, well, then you need,
what?
yearly boosters.
Oh,
or
please!
every
They'd
6
never
months.
do that.
You mean like the flu shot?
They'd never do
It
that.
makes you sick?
Well,
Don't be ridiculous. They'd
I
never
stopped
do
taking
that.
Okay, just to say,
2 weeks to
Here we
flatten
go.
the curve.
Here we
I,
go.
I
2 weeks.
years ago, I had half of a flu shot and I broke out in hives. So I never got one in years. I'm talking 50, over 20, almost 20 years.
Yep.
Never got one.
All right.
Yep.
So I finally decided, what the heck, I'm gonna go ahead. And do it. You know what?
Didn't.
I did. And you know what? Nothing happened. I didn't even get sick. Didn't even have fever. Didn't have chills. I didn't break out in a rash.
Yeah, you got the early dose. They got the one that was untested on the
No.
chickens.
No, I think, I'm bothered by the fact that, it went from 2 weeks to flatten the curve to now you have to show your papers to participate in society. I did not see that coming. I did that?
Showed your papers. Don't take
Sorry.
a breath in this room unless you have a COVID shot.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. So let's talk about, because this is, nothing can go wrong here.
This day.
Nothing at all. I mean, this is the most
Nothing to
safe-
see here,
2
folks.
weeks and you'll have energy forever, right? Radiant is
2 weeks to
develop-
flatten the energy curve.
Oh my God. So Radiant is developing a low-cost portable nuclear micro reactors.
Reactors. Yep.
Reactors.
Yep.
Reactors, whatever.
Reanimators.
These are
So-
regulators.
Okay, so
Hey, this is, this, I could see, countries, that have, no access to anything, out in the middle of,
and they're
nowhere.
okay with poison.
Well, they'll just stick this reactor, probably out in the woods somewhere and, just run along
Well,
extension cord.
How much does it actually generate?
1,000 megawatts, I think, 1 megawatt.
Hold on,
or-
I'm gonna tell you. 1,000. 1
was
megawatt.
1
Okay,
megawatt,
and so what does your
1,000
house
homes.
use? 1,000 homes.
It can
Okay.
power 1,000 homes.
So it's a suburb.
it can do a. Hold on. It can do 1,000 homes in a ghetto that are not ever gonna pull more than 100 amps. Period.
Right. So you're talking about 20 normal homes.
20 normal homes.
20
I have
normal homes.
I have a 200 amp service, and
Yeah.
let me tell you something. We burn electricity.
Well, and the reactor only lasts for what? It says 8 years?
8 years.
And the...
And they got to come in and replace it, and they take away all the toxic
and the
stuff.
And then they go bury it in a hole.
No. We launch it into the sun, remember?
Oh, that's right.
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Elon.
Superman.
Awesome.
No, that was Superman 5, and we don't talk about that movie. It never existed.
So,
You get bad Superman.
Yeah, that was bad Superman. That was
supposedly
really
the
bad.
unit won't, it's more stable. It's not...
Oh, yeah.
It's not...
I mean, quite frankly,
That's what everybody says.
it drives me insane.
Until something happens.
I know people that work in the nuclear industry. Oh, that's $1. I know people that work in the nuclear industry. Okay, the reactors we have today are like 5th generation. All the problems were with the 1st generation reactors. We have come so far beyond that it is, you cannot engage in a safer activity. Okay, solar is more dangerous. Turbines are more dangerous. All this stuff is more dangerous. There have been more injuries in turbine accidents in the last 5 years than there have been in nuclear power plant accidents in America. 2 guys fell off a turbine.
Right.
Okay, that was 2 more than were harmed in nuclear power accidents. So the fact of the matter is, this is what we should be focused on. This is what we
Yeah.
should be doing. However the hell we can do it. The problem is we've got an eco lobby that has it in their head that nuclear power is evil. No, we have to get back to, what are we going to do? We're going to start burning trees again?
Doesn't it still have to heat water to turn a turbine to begin with? Isn't that just what everything that
Yeah,
we've ever...
that was going to say. So there's got to be a
Yeah.
water coolant system in this somehow, because it's got to cool.
They're using helium.
helium.
Yeah, they're using helium in the system to cool it.
Oh.
But again, it doesn't generate, unless it has, some kind
Dynamo of some sort. Yeah.
turbine system.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah. It just needs a dynamo. Okay, and you need pressure on one side of the dynamo and
Yep.
some kind of blades, and you're done. Okay, and then it comes through, it reformats as water, it cools, and then back down it goes again. It's a closed loop.
Yeah.
So all you got to do is make sure your water levels are up. And if the water levels go down, the thing shuts down. I guarantee it.
Okay.
Okay? And so, no, it's a great idea, but I don't care how big the nuclear power plant is. That's what we should be building. If you're actually worried about CO2 in the atmosphere, then you should be 100% behind nuclear, because we can only generate about 20% of the power we use today in the world using renewable resources, period. That's our cap. So if you want to bring everything down, you want to bring society down, then you go ahead and you push these, zero emission
Did you
things.
know by
I drive a Hummer. I don't care about zero
Rock on,
emissions.
party dude.
Did you know by 2035, California wants to outlaw having
I know.
gas-powered cars sold?
Gas-powered cars,
And
lawnmowers, weed eaters,
And you see how many
anything.
people in the industry are going to have to close their businesses just
Yeah.
because of it?
Yeah, I mean, lawn businesses can. A lot of these guys are like, well, I got like 5 or 6 old lawnmowers. I got a machine shop. Now you want me to make them all electric, which I got to completely retool. The batteries are insanely expensive. They need to be repurchased constantly. And you show me that electric riding lawnmower,
Yeah.
okay, that I can actually go through high grass with.
Well, you
Batteries
could.
died.
Actually, you could do a pull behind with a golf cart that's electric. You could.
You could.
I know a lot of people that mow that way still.
Really?
They have the turner blade.
Right.
The old spinny
Yeah.
line,
The
right?
problem is your radius, okay? You can do large
Well,
areas,
but
but you watch these guys on these three-wheelers going around where they're standing on the blade. It's freaking awesome.
Yeah, they're
Right.
so awesome. Leave a big tire mark in your grass when it does that spin.
Yep,
And
they
the grass
dig.
all goes like this.
Do that again. That's pretty good.
I'm
Hey, so
just glad he could duplicate
we have
it.
one more thing to
All
talk
right, we got one
about,
more story.
But I want to talk about this.
Yeah. Oh.
Actually, we're on Rumble now.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Hello, everyone on
So
Rumble.
if you're on Rumble, go follow WeBeam TV.
Yes,
And,
follow us because we will notify you when we have a new episode up.
Yeah, it's kind of cool that way.
Yeah, Rumble
Right.
rocks.
So I want to talk about this young guy. Oh, that's not. I don't care about the car. I don't care about that one. I want to talk about the young man that did the
The thing.
yes, the thing.
With the thing?
With the thing, you know, the
Which one?
okay. So this Guyana British young man.
Oh, yeah.
He developed a wireless earbuds that can instantly translate 40 languages.
Perfect.
Yep.
And
I mean, that
right
is
there
a
makes
babble
sense.
fish.
I would buy that in a heartbeat because that way when I go in, I'm sitting in there in the nail salon and they're all and you know they're talking about you now. You can go,
jeez.
I did not, and it's not fake, it's real.
That is
They
awesome.
will
I
look
mean,
at you and wonder
the shame is it should be able to get the name babblefish.
Babblefish.
Because that is exactly what you put the fish in your ear and you could understand. And that is exactly what this thing does. It is an electric fish you put in your ear and it'll understand 40 languages and automatically translate it. This is Star Trek level crap
This
here.
is beautiful.
It is unbelievable. Imagine
him,
now,
man.
I mean, now you can't speak the other language.
No.
That's the problem. Okay, so you'll still be speaking gibberish to them, but then maybe you can hand them one. You know?
There you go.
And then recycle it. Just clean it really
All
well
right,
when you're
everybody,
done.
thank
All
you
right, we're
for
out of
watching
here.
today. We appreciate it hanging in
Yes.
there with us. We know we've jumped all over the place today.
We
But that's
sure
what
did.
you pay us for.
That's right. I can't believe people listen to this jibber jabber for an hour, but it's why we
They
love
do.
everybody. So hey, look, if you've got any questions, Tech Shamans at WeBeamTV.com. You can go to Tech Shamans on Facebook and message us. Or remember, now you can go watch us on Rumble. We're going to start putting up QR.
Yeah,
codes.
go to rumble.com and watch
We'll
us
see
there.
everybody next week. Everybody have a great techie week. Bye.
Hey.
We got the plans cause we are the Tech Shamans. We understand cause we are the Tech Shamans. Dude, I got this cool thing to show you. Really, man? Yeah, it's far out and technical and stuff. Awesome. Yeah. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Cool.